The clip of this woman went viral on Facebook after she exposed the utter madness that is mass uncontrolled immigration. This was on BBC's Question Time. It's had over 1 million views on Facebook.
8 million people now live in England, going up, UN estimates. At what stage does the panel and people think this country has had enough? That we should close the borders, completely close the borders, because it's got to the stage now is there's no education, schooling, infrastructure. It's enough. We are sinking. Surely someone's got to see common sense and say enough is enough. You've got people flooding into this country that cannot speak English. I've come from London. In the National Health Service, everything's written in different languages. How much is that costing? How much is it costing for the interpreters? Sorry, madam, how much is it costing for the interpreters? I was in hospital last week. The interpreter never turned up for the people who couldn't speak English. She was paid. They all had to go on, and all the radiologists stood around doing nothing. What sort of country is allowing this? What sort of country is allowing this tourism to come in? You arrive in a plane, you get free service, you can have your babies, you can just carry on having it all for free. Why haven't they got points set up in the hospitals and you pay like you do in every other country you go to? You wouldn't turn up in America and be allowed to go for free.
What sort of country is this indeed? A deranged country where those at the top, riddled with self-loathing, get to force their will on the rest of us. That's exactly what sort of country this is. I wonder how many people in the audience agreed with her but were too terrified to show it. The fact is, she nailed it. She has since been branded the archetypal racist Little Englander. Interesting how they always go after the person and not what they said. If you disagree with her, say why. But no, they just find it easier to try to discredit the person. Anyone who does that is basically just an idiot who doesn't have a leg to stand on. The fact is, she was absolutely spot on, and here's why. The onus is on anyone travelling to a country to learn that country's local language, and that applies to anyone coming to Britain. The idea that people from anywhere and everywhere in the world can come here whenever they feel like it, have free access to many of the services we have to pay for, and, let's be honest, often can't get access to, is insane, full stop. But on top of that, to say you don't have to learn our language because it's our responsibility to make sure everything here is in your native language is just off the scale mad. Only a country that hates itself would think like that. If some people in some private places want to do that, then that's fine if they are paying for it. But national institutions like the NHS have no obligation to provide services in any other language than English, especially when it is the taxpayers' money funding it. It's that simple. The fact is, we do not have a second language like many countries do. We're told millions want to come here because they speak English. Then we're simultaneously told it doesn't matter if you don't speak English because we'll make sure it's all in your native language when you get here. And the fact that people come here just for free healthcare is an act of self-harm on our part. The delusional and the disingenuous still won't admit mass immigration at this level has a negative impact on our infrastructure. Again, it's not our responsibility to build more infrastructure to accommodate half the world who wants to come here, especially when they are not wanted. Massive credit to that lady for standing up and voicing her opinion. We cannot be silenced. There are signs people are rising up. People are taking to the streets in protest. And if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. The existence of our country is at stake here, so it's no small matter. She asked how many can come. Where does the madness end? We are wasting our time asking that one because we will never get a straight answer. Our concern is finding a way to stop it. We're told mass immigration is the norm now. People are on the move, and many of them want to come here. We're told it's our responsibility to hand over our land to them. Well, it doesn't have to be our responsibility to hand over anything if we don't want it to be.